How is it in the deep south of the United States? Preacher moves into a state of religious ecstasy and drinks strychnine, drinks poison, and has no biological effects. Or the snake charmer in India alters his state of being and gets bit by a poisonous snake and has no blood coagulation. Or the mother whose child is trapped under the car walks over and lifts the car up and pulls the child out. Or the children of Indonesia move into a state of trance and chew and eat glass and have no internal bleeding. Or the tribes of the South Pacific raise their energy and walk across a bed of hot coals. You would have to say that in each one of these cases, every one of those individuals made a decision with such firm intention that the amplitude of that decision carried a level of energy that was greater than their body as their mind. And in that moment, they made a choice. And that choice changed their state of being. Would you agree? Yes. And it caused them to be immune to the laws of the environment, immune to the typical laws of the body, and suspended in time. Would you agree? Yes. In other words, the mother doesn't walk over and go, I had carbohydrates the last 2 days. I haven't worked out. I looked at myself in the mirror. There's no way I'm going to lift this thing up. I wonder how this is going to go. That's not going to lift up the car. Would you agree? Would you agree that the preacher that just drank strychnine goes, God, I hope I have enough faith here? That's a little wishy-washy. Would you agree? That the decision that they make carries an energy that suspends them from the laws of the body, the environment, and time. Yes or no? Yes. Turn the person next to you and explain that.
A decision, that's what I saw.
So then, would you agree that it was energy that changed their biology?
Yes.
And would you agree they had to come out of their resting state, their normal resting state, and they had to give their body a sampling of energy that would allow them to step into a different future? Come on, are you with me? So then, your body is made up of 70 trillion to 120 trillion cells, a community of cells that are being governed by consciousness. Are you with me still? And, you know, those cells are all spying on your thoughts, on your brain. In fact, if I said to you, fake standing up 9 out of 10 times, but one time I want you to actually stand up, do you know that before you've made that conscious decision, your body already knows when it's going to happen? Because it has to release a certain amount of adrenaline to keep the same volume of blood going to your brain so you don't pass out. You with me still? So the body is the most precognitive thing that we have. You know what I mean when you get around a certain situation, around a certain person, your body's giving you information. Yes? So then, if you have these 70 trillion to 120 trillion cells, that's the community that you're managing. And, you know, you're sitting on the couch with the remote control, and you have your computer over here, you have your smartphone here, you have your tablet here, the beer is right there, and you go like this. Oh, I think I'm going to change tomorrow. What kind of signal is your body getting? You know what your body's getting? He's lying to himself again. Relax. Nothing's going to change. Would you agree? Yes. Body's not getting any new information, any new signal. But you ever notice when you painted yourself into a corner and you say, this is it. I don't care what anybody thinks. I don't care what's going on in my life, environment. I don't care how I feel, body. I don't care how long this takes, time. I'm going to do this. And the hair on the back of your neck stands up. What kind of signal is the body getting in that moment? It's like when I jump on my stallion, I wrap my legs around him and I give him a little kick. We ride. He gets it. And your body begins to respond to a new mind because you are giving your body a sampling emotionally of the future. You're giving it a taste of the future. And in that moment, it is greater than the hardwired programs in your brain, that energy, and greater than the emotional addiction in your body. And in that moment, the choice that you make becomes an experience that you never forget. The choice then becomes a long-term memory because the end product of an experience is an emotion. And emotions create long-term memories. So your choice in that moment, carrying an amplitude of energy that was greater than the hardwired programs in your brain and the emotional addiction in your body, caused your body to move from the past-present reality to a future-present reality. And you changed your state of being. How many people are with me? Turn to the person next to you and have an enlivening conversation about that, please. Don't do that, just talk. Come on, some of that information bounced off some of you. It bounced off. Let's start again. Experiences create emotions, yes or no? Yes. The more heightened the quotient of the emotion from the experience, the more you remember it. Yes. So emotions and experiences create long-term memories, yes or no? Yes. Okay. So then you have an experience in your life that brands you emotionally and it leaves a footprint neurologically in your brain and your body is chemically conditioned into the past, yes or no? Yes. So then, would you agree then? If you're sitting there and you're making a decision in that moment with an amplitude of energy that was greater than that past experience emotionally, are you with me still? And you raise your energy, and that raising of energy causes your body to respond to a new mind, and the choice that you make is the experience, because the end product of experience is that emotion. And the moment you feel differently inside of you, you're going to pay attention to the thought that you have your attention on, and you're going to begin to emboss a long-term memory. Are you with me still? And now, the body literally is moving out of the past-present reality because experience enriches the brain. And experience produces an emotion. And the inward experience, the inward choice, is greater than any past external experience. And now you are more energy than matter, you are more wave than particle, and you are connected to a future. Are you with me still? Yes. How can I say to a cattle farmer that comes into my clinic, not that I'm ever there anymore, but when I was there, and I can put up a chest x-ray of his spine, and I can look at that chest x-ray, and I can say, Delbert, see that spot on your lungs, Delbert? Yes, I do. Well, Delbert, I don't like that spot. Well, what is it? Well, Delbert, it's not good. Delbert, you smoke? Yes, I do. Delbert, how long you been smoking? 45 years. Well, Delbert, if you keep smoking, I'm concerned that that spot is going to get worse. Well, what do I do? And I look him in the eye and I say, Delbert, you have to stop smoking. And he locks in eye to eye with me. And he says, okay. And that's the last day he smoked. no patches, no vapors, no chewing gum, no hypnosis. He made the choice. And the choice was greater energetically than the conditioning of his dependency on something outside of him to make him feel differently. Are you with me still? Yes. And the choice was his defining moment, and it became an experience that he never forgot, and his body responded to his mind. Are you with me still? Yes. Turn to the person next to you and explain that. Okay, so, are you with me? Yep. So then, in order for you to change some belief or perception about yourself and your life, you're going to have to come out of your resting state, and you're going to have to make a decision with such firm intention that the amplitude of that decision carries a level of energy that's greater than the hardwired programs in your brain from the past and the emotional addictions in your body from the past. That the choice that you make in that moment becomes the experience that you will never forget. That the inward experience is greater than any past external experience in your past. Are you with me still? So then think about this. We talked about this the other day. The moment you have an experience or experiences in your life that produce certain emotions, the higher the emotional quotient, the more you're going to pay attention to whatever caused it. Yes or no? Yes. Then that becomes kind of the architecture, the blueprint in which we think. We think within the neurological circuitry embossed in our brain from a past experience. We're using those circuits. Are you with me still? And we're feeling within the boundaries of those chemicals from those past experiences emotionally. Now think about this. If how you think and how you feel creates a state of being, then the majority of your thoughts and the majority of your feelings, consciousness, is in the box. Are you with me still? Of the past. Yes? So then, the more you think the same way, the more you feel the same way. If you remember the animations, the more you hardwire the brain, the more you condition the body into the past. Yes or no? Yes. So then if you take a series of thoughts that are connected to a series of feelings, remember this morning, a thought and a feeling, a thought and a feeling, a thought and a feeling, that's called an attitude. A series of good thoughts that are connected to a series of good feelings, you say, I got a pretty good attitude today. Yes? A series of negative thoughts that are connected to a series of bad feelings, you got a pretty bad attitude. You with me still? So if how you think and how you feel creates a state of being, then attitudes are just shortened states of being, right? You can turn on a good attitude on Monday and a bad attitude on Wednesday. You can do that on your own, yes? So then if you take an attitude, an attitude, and an attitude, and you begin to string them together, you begin to form what's a belief. And a belief, when you begin to combine those attitudes, is just a thought you keep thinking over and over and over until you do hardwire it in your brain. Are you with me still? Yes. So now it becomes a software program. The hardware becomes a software and it becomes automatic. You with me still? Yes. So then, if how you think and how you feel creates your state of being, then over time, not only are you hardwiring it into your brain, but you are now emotionally conditioning it into your body. Yes or no? Yes. Come on. Yes. So then, if how you think and how you feel creates a state of being, and the redundancy of thinking and feeling and feeling and thinking conditions the body to become the mind, then all beliefs are subconscious states of being. Are you listening? Yes. People don't even know that they believe that because it's programmed subconsciously. Are you with me still? Yes. And so then people create beliefs about themselves and their lives that's based on past experiences. But they're not true, they're just true for them. Are you with me still? Yes. Beliefs about money, beliefs about God, beliefs about culture, beliefs about food, beliefs about whatever. It's all created from past experiences. Yes or no? Yes. So then if you take a belief, and you start combining them together, you form what's called a perception. And perceptions have everything to do with the choices you make, the things you create, the relationships you have, and the behaviors that you demonstrate. And in fact, you want to study someone's beliefs and perceptions, study their behaviors, especially when they're alone. Are you with me still? Yes. So thoughts and feelings create attitudes, attitudes create beliefs, and beliefs create perceptions. Yes or no? So then if a belief is a subconscious state of being, then most perceptions are unconscious states of being. Are you listening still? You're looking across the table to someone you've been married to for 40 years, and it's possible that you're not seeing them. It's possible that you're filling in your reality, your perception, based on a memory. Are you with me still? And so then they've proven this scientifically. You take a group of people and you have them wear these colored glasses. The glasses are divided in half. You look to the left, you see blue. You look to the right, you see yellow. Wear them the entire day. Wear them when you take your kids to school, when you go to work, when you're doing all your shopping, when you're doing everything. Just wear the glasses all the time. After 2 weeks, they bring these people into the laboratory. They say, look left, what color do you see? I don't see a color. No, look left, what color do you see? There's no color. Look to the right, what color do you see? I don't see a color. So scientists realized in that moment that it wasn't the eyes that see, it's the brain that sees. Yes? But here's the payoff. Those people, in order for them to emit the colored lens that they were looking through, would have to fill in reality based on their routine memories. Are you with me still? So then, do you think that you and I may be missing out on a little bit of reality because we are unconsciously expecting the next moment to exist as it does, because that's how we've been programmed? Turn the person next to you and talk about thoughts and feelings, attitudes, beliefs, and perceptions. So then, you understand then that we have beliefs and perceptions about ourselves and our lives that we're not even aware of. Yes or no? And they're running as a program, like a computer program, behind the scenes of our awareness. Yes or no? And what happens if you have too many programs opened up on your phone or on your computer? Yeah? You got to quit. You got to do something, yes? Because it's consuming all the energy. So then people will say, well, I don't know why I keep getting hurt. I don't know why I keep hurting. What is it? Physical pain or emotional pain? Doesn't matter. I don't know why I keep failing at business. I don't know why I can't just do this right. Because it's based on their past belief from some past experience. Are you with me still? The experience produces an emotion, of course, and all of a sudden they begin to look to see what causes it, and then the moment they do that, we draw a conclusion about that experience. And the moment you draw the conclusion, you seal the deal. It becomes a belief. Then you understand what that means. And you can experience more and more separation the more you're living by the hormones of stress, which means you'll create more beliefs about those people over there, and those people over there, and those countries over there, and those colors over there. And it's all about separation. Are you with me still? And of course, you're either moving towards the unified field or you're moving away. You with me still? So then, beliefs are created from past experiences, and a lot of those beliefs happen when we're children. Yeah, well, we're being raised by the same people who have the same beliefs now that we do. Are you with me still? Unless, of course, you crack somewhere in your life, you have the midlife crisis, and you just go, I'm done. And when you do that, all of a sudden you're saying, I don't want to turn out like that. There's got to be something else, yes? And that's why we're here, yeah? So, I grew up in an Italian household. My father was from a little town outside of Palermo in Sicily. And my mother was a first-generation Italian, and my grandparents were, my grandmother was African, half African, and my grandfather was from Siragusa, this other part of Sicily, and I grew up with Italian people. That's just the way it was, and that was my culture. And of course, I was the only blonde-haired Italian in my family, so I was the mutant, and that was a big deal. And so my mother's mother was such a passionate woman, and she was just, to me, she was just amazing. And she would go up and pray up in her altar up there, and my grandfather would go downstairs and make wine. So my brother would go downstairs with my grandfather, and then I would wait for my grandmother to walk into the room dressed in black with the thing. And I knew she was ready to go. And I'd wait, and then she'd leave the door always a little cracked, and there was one wall there must have been 13 crucifixions on that wall, just a guy on the tree, And then there was the Jesus pictures with the bleeding heart looking down like, I'm suffering and you're a sinner. But don't take it personally. And then there was the other one, which was, Jesus in the arms of Mary, and it's La Pietà, there's all of those scenes, And then she had her own kneeling thing with the candles in the mezzanine, And I love the smell to this day of that. She'd hit her knees, take out her rosaries, and she'd start going. And she'd just be whipping those rosaries around, and she was wailing. I mean, it was just a big thing. And I would watch her, and I just couldn't take any more of it. And I'd run down the stairs, and I'd run back up, I gotta look again. And she was such a cool lady, and she'd come out, and I would just be and she'd come over and pick me up, and sit down. And so I grew up in this one area of East Coast here, and then we moved to another town. And when I moved to another town, it was a completely different experience for me. It was my first day of 4th grade. And here I am sitting down at the chairs at 8, how you have the 3 here and the 3 here, 6 seats, and put them all, the desks, you put them all together. So you have 2 girls on this side and a girl in front, and 2 boys here and a boy here. So I'm sitting down. My first day of 4th grade, we moved to a new town, and I got Allison Rubin over here. I got Nancy Lubars over here. And I got Lori Blinder right in front of me here. And I'm sitting next to these Jewish girls, and they break the news to me that Jesus wasn't Italian that day. I mean, that was a trauma for me. I mean, I believed he was Italian. So then I go home, and my mother asked me about the first day of school, and she's trying to grab my arm, and I'm just moving away from her, and she's following me around. Finally, she grabs me by the arm. What is wrong with you? I said, I thought Jesus was Italian. She goes, no, he was Jewish. I go, Jewish? Grandma's talking Italian to him every day. He looks Italian in all those pictures to me. And what's the deal with the Roman Empire? Isn't Rome in Italy? So I had to change my belief. Would you agree? So I talk about it in You Are the Placebo, and this doctor from Texas sends me a postcard. On the back of the postcard, it says, hey, doc, on page 268, you were saying that Jesus was Italian, and I think you should read this postcard. So I get this postcard, and on the other side, it says, it's official. Jesus was Irish. He had 12 drinking friends. He trained as a carpenter to work on the buildings. He was unemployed. He lived with his mother till he was 33. He thought his mother was a virgin. His mother thought he was the Son of God. So then, we've been conditioned based on our past to believe certain things, yes or no? Yes. So how can you give someone a sugar pill, a saline injection, perform some false surgery or treatment, and a certain percentage of those people will accept, believe, and surrender to the thought without any analysis that they're getting the actual substance or treatment? Are you with me? Yes. So here's my first question. Is it the inert substance that's doing the healing, or is it the body's innate capacity to heal when it's stimulated in the right way? Are you with me still? Yes. So then, that pill represents a new potential in the quantum field called getting better. And you give it to a certain group of people, and blue pills work better than red pills. If you name a drug something that a patient cannot pronounce, it will work better because they'll be intimidated by it. What are you taking? I'm similar. So. What? So they give their power away to it, yes? If you name a drug that subconsciously sounds like something you want it to do, it'll work even better. Do you think it's a coincidence that Viagra rhymes with Niagara? Do you think that's a coincidence? That's a lot of flow. That's subconscious. Rogaine, grow, gain. It's all about subconscious programs. If you charge more money for the drug, it'll work even better. Are you with me still? And if the doctor is enthusiastic, it'll work even better. Are you with me still? So that pill then, when you give it to a person and they've been conditioned based on the past that pills have taken some symptoms away. You with me still? You take a pill, you look at it, you take it, you swallow it, 15 minutes later, your pain goes away. You look at the pill again, you take it, you swallow it, you notice it going away. And all of a sudden, you notice a change in your internal state. You pay attention to what caused it in your external environment, and you begin to become conditioned to that pill. You with me still? Yeah. You keep doing that over and over again, and you give somebody a pill that looks just like that pill. And without even thinking about it, they take it, and based on their conditioning, they expect an outcome to take place. And placebo is based on conditioning, and conditioning is based on the past. And expectation, which is based on the future. Are you with me still? Yes. So then when you give that person that pill, and you tell them it's the best medication for this particular condition, that person uses that pill as a symbol of possibility, just like a symbol of possibility that you tuned into. Are you with me still? Yes. And the moment that person gets optimistic, gets inspired, gets expecting an outcome, feeling excited, they begin to marry a clear intention with an elevated emotion, and they are changing their state of being. Are you with me still? Yes. So then, think about this. Do you need a sugar pill or a saline injection to change your state of being? No. Have you been changing your state of being this particular weekend? Yes? By marrying a clear intention with an elevated emotion. Yes or no? So then, that pill then is representing a potential in the quantum field for that person. And when they begin to select that potential, it's not the pill that's doing it. It's that they are beginning to accept the effects of a future before it's made manifest emotionally. Yes or no? Yes. So then, they're beginning to make their own pharmacy of chemicals to match the exact chemical they think they're taking. Are you listening closely? Yes. So then, 83% of people, 81% of people that are in a depression study respond just as well when they're taking the placebo as the people who are taking the actual medication. 81% of them are getting better by the placebo, equal to the people taking the medication. You with me still? Yes. So they do brain scans on these people before and after, and they see significant changes in the frontal lobe and certain areas of the brain to prove to them that they're better. And many of those people that were given the placebo insist that the doctors made a mistake, that they actually got the real substance. So then, if their brain scans are changing, it must mean they're making their own pharmacy of antidepressants. Yes or no? Yes. If you give certain people in a dental study a placebo and you tell them it's one of the most powerful narcotics for pain, more than half of those people, after they have their molars pulled, have no swelling and no pain when they take that substance. But it's nothing more than sugar. You with me still? Yeah. So then they take a specific drug that blocks morphine receptors in their brain. And the moment they take that drug, all of their pain comes back, which means they're making their own morphine by thought alone. Are you with me still? Turn the person next to you and have an enthusiastic conversation about placebos. Now, how many people are with me? Are you with me? Yes. Come on, poke the person next to you. Are you with me? Yes. So think about this. Because we are 1 foot in the real world, 1 foot in the quantum world. Those people that were in that depression study, listen closely, took that placebo for a minimum of 6 to 8 weeks. You with me? Yes. So every day they took that pill, and that pill represented a possibility in the future, and they became enthusiastic and inspired, and they changed their state of being by something outside of them. You with me still? Yes. And they did that for 6 to 8 weeks. It took them 6 to 8 weeks to finally heal their depression. So if it took them 6 to 8 weeks to finally change their state of being, do you think it may be a good idea to do your meditation for 6 to 8 weeks to change your state of being? Yes. Turn the person next to you and have a lighthearted conversation about that, please. They did this study where they took a group of people with Parkinson's disease. And Parkinson's disease is deficiency in dopamine in the brain. Remember that from yesterday? Yes. And when there's not enough dopamine in the brain, the upper motor neurons can't fire well together, and it produces involuntary tremors in the body. The body goes into like a spastic paralysis. You with me still? Yes. So they did this placebo study, and they conditioned these people and told them that they had a very powerful drug for Parkinson's, the best one they've ever created. And they made this big ritual, and then they gave them this injection, and more than 50% of the people had their tremors go away. Just go away. So the doctor said, well, that, of course, that's the placebo, which means we don't want to look at that. Mind and body are not related. And one researcher said, well, let's think about this. If all of their tremors went away completely, maybe they're making their own dopamine. Are you with me still? Yes. So they found this radioactive substance that fit into the same receptor sites as dopamine. You with me? Yes. So then what they were going to do is they were going to inject that radioactive dye into their bloodstream to see if they were making their own dopamine. If they were making their own dopamine, then dopamine got into the receptor sites before this radioactive chemical. So when they imaged the brain, you would see no radioactivity in there because dopamine got to the parking space first. Does that make sense? Yes. But if they weren't making their own dopamine, then the parking lot would be empty. And all this radioactive dye could move into the parking spaces and the brain would light up. You with me still? Yes. So when they did the study, they found that these people were producing over 200 times the amount of dopamine by thought alone. Are you listening closely? So then, there's a caveat to the story. Because those people, when they returned back into their lives, all of their symptoms came back. Why? Because it was their personal reality that was creating their personality. As they went to the same place and saw the same people and did the same exact things, it was their environment that was reminding them of who they were as their past, present personality. Are you with me still? In other words, when they saw the caregiver, when they played chess with their friends, when they saw their spouse, when they slept in the same bed, it was the environment that was controlling how they were thinking and feeling, and they returned back to the old self. Are you with me still? Now, I'm going out on a limb here, okay? So if the environment is so strong to cause those people to return back to the old state of being, and they forgot about the new state of being because the environment was that intoxicating, do you think it might be a good idea to do your meditation every day and to move into that state of being to be greater than your environment?
Yes.
Turn the person next to you and have a wonderful conversation about that. Two last points. That the placebo is based on three things. Conditioning. Give a person a pill, makes symptom go away, give them the same pill, makes the symptom go away, give them the same pill, makes the symptom go away, give them a pill that looks like that, looks just like the pill that they've been taking, and their symptoms goes away because they're conditioned into believing that. Yes or no? Yes. So conditioning is based on the past, but conditioning is a strong element. Expectation is beginning to select the future. But if there's no intervention that's changing their line of time, you listen closely, then they'll stay in that very specific line of time, and they'll head towards that genetic destiny because they're in that state of being. Yes? So they're anticipating nothing to change until maybe they're given a placebo or there's some intervention, and then they start making changes. You with me still? So then the placebo then represents a new expectation, a new outcome, a new possibility. Yes or no? Yes. The third thing is when you assign meaning to something, which means like if the doctor says, well, this drug is going to leave serotonin in the synaptic space and it's going to block the enzyme that picks up serotonin, and depression is because of serotonin. It puts together this whole model that probably isn't even the truth, but it sounds good. And you're going like this. Then when you take that pill, you'll be thinking about that, what it's going to do, and it's going to become more effective. Are you with me still? So think about what we've been doing all weekend, this weekend. Have we not been reconditioning your body to a new mind? Yes. Have we not been selecting a new unexpected future that's different than your typical line of time? Yes. So we're bumping you off a timeline, yes or no? Yes. And would you agree then, I'm explaining everything to you in a very scientific way that you can repeat so you can assign meaning to what you're doing? Yes. So you are your own placebo, yes or no? Yes. But I want to warn you, point number 2, that you only accept, believe, and surrender to the thoughts that are equal to your emotional state. And you will not accept, believe, and surrender to any thoughts that are not equal to your emotional state. Are you listening closely? So then, this is such a pandemic way that people are treated in the healthcare industry in this Western world, in our country. A person's giving a diagnosis of cancer, of diabetes, of rheumatoid arthritis. The moment they hear those words, what emotion do they feel? Fear and pain and sadness, yes or no? And that moment they remember, yes? Because it's new information and it wakes them up. And now they got to pay attention to what's telling them that. Now, anything that happens past that point, they're suggestible to equal to the fear or the sadness that they are experiencing. You got 6 months to live. You got 3 months to live. You got 9 months to live. You got a year to live. It's never 4 months or 8 months. It's always 3, 6, 9, 12. So there goes the voodoo curse. That's it. And if that person accepts, believes, and surrenders to that information without analyzing it because it's equal to their emotional state, they're programming their autonomic nervous system into a destiny. Are you with me still? If you read my book, The Placebo, I start off on a story about a guy that was diagnosed with cancer, given a certain amount of time to live. He just wanted to make it past the holidays. He just wanted to live to see his kids celebrate Christmas. A week later, he dies. Dies. They do the autopsy on him. He doesn't even have enough cancer. There's a little small speck of cancer. He died by thought alone. He anticipated the outcome. Are you with me still? Isn't that crazy? And guess what? If 50% of every person that's on their way to their first chemotherapy treatment gets nauseous on the drive over in anticipation of it occurring. I tell our staff at the clinic, if 50% of those people get nauseous on their drive to their first chemotherapy treatment, 50% of our patients can get well on their drive to our office in anticipating getting treated really well. Any difference? So then, what happens after that diagnosis begins to lay the foundation of what the person has to work against. Are you with me still? And they can think positively all they want. They can tell me they're going to beat it, but if they're not changing their body state, that thought is going to stop right at the brainstem, and it's never going to go any further. Are you with me still? Yes. And I have seen this in our clinic. I mean, we treat in our clinic crazy, wild, busy, super nutty clinic, and we work with a lot of chronic conditions because nobody wants to deal with chronic. Chronic means you got to create a lifestyle change. And so we do a lot of chronic work with people, and we get them chemically balanced, emotionally balanced, and we get them physically balanced. That's what we do. And if we get 2 out of those 3 in order, the third one always comes around. It's the way it is. So I'm in covering for the doctors. They're on vacation, and I'm working pretty hard that day. And I come walking in the room, and there's this lady, Barbara, that I've treated for probably more than 17 years. I hadn't seen her. She's a potter. She throws pots, and she's an artist and photographer, and she's really talented. And I walk in, and she is sobbing in the room. And I say, Barbara, what is wrong? And she said, I've been diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. Listen to this. The doctor told me I didn't have much time to live. Yeah. I'm telling you the God's honest truth. He told me I'd never be able to throw pots again. She was swollen in her knees, swollen in her hands. I mean, she was inflamed. She was upset. And I looked at her and I said, Barbara, just because you've been diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis doesn't mean you have to have any of the symptoms. And it bounced right off her. What? Because she was on a different program, yes or no? I said, Barbara, just because you've been diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis doesn't necessarily mean you have to have any of the symptoms. I don't know what you're talking about. I said, what's your diagnosis? Rheumatoid arthritis. Okay? You could have the rheumatoid factor in your blood and you don't have to have any of the symptoms. I don't get it. Okay, you stay right there. Don't you move. I want you to think about that. Then I go through the 6 treatment rooms. I come back around, and I walk in, and she stands up and says, just because I've been diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis doesn't mean I don't have to have any of the symptoms? And I say, now we're ready to work. Now, you understand that she could not accept, believe, and surrender to any information that wasn't equal to what the doctor told her in that experience and the emotion that went along with it. That was her belief. Yes or no? Yes. But our students that heal themselves don't always accept, believe, and surrender to the information equal that's being told to them. Now, they honor the values, they honor their condition and diagnosis, but they don't honor the outcome, what normal people typically go through. You understand that? Because they're not going to accept, believe, and surrender to that. They're going to accept, believe, and surrender to something else and change their future. Are you with me still? Yes. So I want you to know that Barbara, we got her 15 minutes a day sustaining elevated emotions like gratitude and sustaining it. And we did a few things to eliminate certain foods. And I was back in the office, a little ways back, covering for the doctors again. And here comes her husband walking in. And I said, how's Barbara? He said, she's taking flying lessons today. So then, when you change that emotional state, and you're in a state of gratitude, for no reason at all, but that you can create it, because you're committed to it. You're in a state of inspiration, invincibility, empowerment, unlimitedness. Then you'll accept, believe, and surrender to the thoughts equal to that emotional state, and you'll program your autonomic nervous system into a different destiny. Are you with me still? I know this to be the truth because I've watched it in too many advanced workshops. And I ask people to take the ride with me, cross the river, leave all of that baggage on the other side. There's a whole new future, and you got to believe in it more than your past. And that belief should be the belief that you endorse every day. Are you with me still? Yes. So then, To become conscious of the unconscious belief starts the process in and of itself. Yes? Now that you understand what the belief is, you got to make a decision with such firm intention that the amplitude of that decision carries a level of energy that produces an emotion, which the quotient of that emotion is higher than any past external experience that created the belief. The choice that you make inside of you is greater than the experience that took place outside of you that created that belief. And when the inner experience becomes the event, then you'll never forget your choice. And in that moment, you just moved from living in your past present reality to living in your future present reality. Because when the thought becomes the experience, or the choice becomes the experience, and you are moved out of your resting state, and you are moved by the Spirit, and the hair on the back of your neck stands up, that experience is rewiring the circuits in your brain. Isn't that what experience does? And it's reconditioning the body to a new mind in that moment. And you are signaling new genes in new ways. And you are moving your body from a past present reality to a future present reality. And the choice becomes an experience that you never forget because it made it to your body. Are you with me still? Yes. Turn the person next to you and explain that. Let's run through some slides now, all right? We lower the lights. You with me? You guys all right? I didn't drink any coffee at lunch. I'm just excited. Didn't you love that kid? Didn't you love when he switched off from being the karate master to being a kid again? Because we're the same way, you know that. We're all just playing it. All right. The top prescription is for your arthritis, but it may cause a heart attack. The second prescription should prevent your heart attack, but it could cause damage to your liver. The third should prevent liver trouble, but it may destroy your spleen. The fourth protects your spleen, but it's known to eat away at your prostate. And the fifth, you know how that goes. I am so insulted by pharmaceutical commercials, personally. So knowledge is the precursor to experience. Have you heard me say that? It's the harbinger of the event. The more prepared you are for the experience, the more knowledge you should have. Yes or no?
Yes.
The end product of an experience is called an emotion. Yes?
Yes.
If you understand how you created the experience, that's called wisdom. And now you can evolve. Yes or no?
Yes.
And you will add to your own life by doing that. Now, if you get caught in the same experience that produces the same emotion, or you're committed to re-experiencing the same emotion without the experience in your outer world, then you keep signaling the same gene in the same way. And the gene is going to wear out, just like gears in a car, like taking a fax of a fax of a fax of a fax of a fax. You're going to start making cheaper proteins. You're going to down-regulate genes. Are you with me still?
Yes.
Poke the person next to you. So your thoughts and feelings come from your past, yes or no? Yes. From past experiences or memories, yes?
Yes.
If you take a series of thoughts and feelings, thoughts and feelings, thoughts and feelings, you put them together, you develop what's called an attitude, yes?
Yes.
An attitude is just a shortened state of being. If you take an attitude, an attitude, an attitude, and you string an attitude, an attitude, an attitude together, you're going to form what's called a belief, yes? And belief is just a thought you keep thinking over and over again until you hardwire it in your brain. And belief is connected to some emotion, and you tend to think within the boundaries of that chemical state. And you form a belief about yourself and your life. You with me still? You put a belief, and you keep believing more and more of the same things, and they all of a sudden start to merge together. Now you're going to have a perception. Perceptions have everything to do with the choices you make, the things you create, the relationships you have, and of course the behaviors that you demonstrate. So thoughts and feelings create attitudes, attitudes create beliefs, and beliefs create perceptions. You still with me? So, your reality is created by your beliefs and perceptions, and if they're unconscious, then you can understand why your reality turns out the way it does. Are you with me still? And those beliefs and perceptions come from your thoughts and feelings, yes or no?
Yes.
So then, to change your perceptions, your beliefs, and attitudes means you have to change the way you think and the way you feel. And the way you think and the way you feel is called your state of being. Have you heard that enough this weekend? Yes or no? So you combine a thought and a feeling that's different, you're going to change your state of being. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, so hang in there with me now. So what are the beliefs and perceptions about yourself and your life that you have been unconsciously agreeing to every single day? Why don't we list some of them to put them under the microscope? How's that sound? I never have enough time. That used to be my belief. I didn't think it. I didn't feel it. It was just my state of being. And of course, if you asked me why I thought there was never enough time, I would give you 1,000 reasons based on my past. Yes or no? And I was right. Now my belief is I live in no time and I accomplish everything. And I'm such a nicer person to be around. Yes? You understand that I didn't think it and I didn't feel it. It was just my state of being. I was thinking and feeling merged. I was feeling, I was thinking. It was just one thing. You understand? It was my state of being.
Yes.
Life is difficult and no one cares. This is a subconscious, unconscious belief for many people. They don't even know that they think that. Until, of course, when life gets difficult and no one cares, they say, I knew it. I have to work hard to be a success. Belief. Someone has to make me happy. Oh my God. You know, everybody thinks they're not that way, and 6 months goes by and you're like, whoa, where did you come from? Because now all of a sudden that person's belief comes out. Yes? My race or culture is superior. Get over yourself. When I own this, then I'll be happy. How about when I'm happy, I'll own this? I'm a shy person, please. Whoa, don't get me started on this one. Germs make me sick. You think that you've been programmed into that? So many people, they get sick without the germs. God is outside of me. This is a subconscious belief. People will tell you, oh no, God's within me, dude. Really? Well, let's sit down and make contact. If you sit down and you're over it in 10 minutes, then you don't believe it exists. Because if you knew it existed, you would go after it. And belief is like pregnancy. Either you are or you're not. I'm bad and God doesn't love me. Subconscious belief. If you change this belief, imagine how free you would be. It's not in this intelligence nature to judge. It is just intelligent love and loving intelligence. That's it. Reality is a linear process. Change this one up and your life is going to get really weird. Women are less than men? Please. You know, if you take a group of women and you tell them before you give them a math test, men score better at math than women, they'll score less? But if you give them the math test and you don't tell them that, they'll score equal or better. Because it is a subconscious belief. Because if they didn't believe it, they'd say, that's not in my world. So then we get primed all the time by our beliefs, and it's all around us. It's hard to change or create reality. Belief. Life is very serious. Belief. My pain is normal. It'll never go away. You ever talk to those people? That's a belief based on their past experiences, and they're right, because that's their state of being. Things never go my way. Do you know these people that have this belief? They're just waiting for something. They're actually almost making it not go the right way so they can tell you that things never go their way. And they're going to get really mad and abusive. I'm a lot like my parents. My mother had this health condition. My father acted this way. That's just who I am. Genes don't do that. You do that. I'm just not a lucky person. Belief. Nothing good ever happens to me. How about the universe is a friendly place? I'm not smart or creative. Do you think there's any coincidence that when we start every learning session, I ask you to turn the person next to you and tell them that you're a genius? Because sooner or later, you're going to start believing that. You with me still? I believe everybody's a genius. I gain weight easy. Belief based on the past experience. Oh, woo! You need to hang out with me on this one. I'm going to dust you. I can't find a man, woman, or partner. Belief. My biological clock is ticking. Do you know how many people that were pronounced infertile in our work now have children? Because they changed that belief, because they changed their biology. And by the way, if you're living stressed out and over-vigilant and contracted and fearful and protective, it's not a time to grow a baby. You're in survival, and the survival gene is on. It's not a time innately for long-term building projects. There's danger out there. Why would you want to risk that? That's the innate gene that signals. You get a person out of those addictive emotions, and they're blooming like a flower. I'm short-tempered, get over it. Oh my God, beauty looks like this. Who wants to look like an emaciated, anorexic, undernourished, battered, skinny woman on the cover of some magazine? Don't you know that they do that to keep you consuming because they know you'll never look like that? And that's how we're programmed into thinking beauty looks. You know, my daughter, when she was this big, I would drop right down on my knee and I'd get right up to her nose. And I'd say to her, Janna, you are so beautiful. Do you feel beautiful? Then you are beautiful. Because the moment you feel beautiful, you are radiantly beautiful. How many people are with me? Yes. Where do these beliefs and perceptions come from? Say it. Say it. From your past experiences, yes or no? Yes. Well, here's a very good question. See that truth meter? Yep. I got one of them right here. And if you hang out with me and we're having a glass of wine and you try that, spiritual mumbo jumbo stuff with me, you're going to get that. Now, are those beliefs true or did you make them up? You made them up based on your past experience. But would you agree then you can begin to continue to believe more and more things as you move closer and closer to oneness, to the unified field on your journey back home? You can keep evolving your beliefs. You should, yes? So then, here's my question. Do you want to continue believing and perceiving the same way? All right, take out a piece of paper. And I want you to write down one belief in its limited form. Like, I never have enough time. Like, I'll never get the right job. My pain will never go away. I really am not a good meditator. Wine gives me a headache. You come on our wine tours, you dust that belief by the second day. We're over that one. I'm not a lucid dreamer. I don't dream. Belief based on past experiences. Come on, pick something fun then. Or if you keep seeing the same pattern in your life, are you listening? The same thing occurring over and over again, there's a belief about that. And it's subconscious and unconscious. And all you have to do is know what it is and then change your state of being, and you will begin to be greater than the hardwired programs and the emotional addictions, and your body will begin to respond to a new mind, and you'll begin to embody that belief. So pick something in its limited form and write it down. You got it written down? Yes. How are we doing? Now, underneath that statement or next to it, however you want to do it, I want you to write down the belief in its unlimited form. Like, I live in no time and I accomplish everything. I'm a lucid dreamer. I could dream lucidly. I'm open to reality not being linear. I want to believe that. Hang on when that happens. It gets really weird. Could be about a job. Could be about an opportunity. I love synchronicities. That's just part of my belief that they happen all around me all the time, and they happen all around me all the time. But that's what I like. I want to believe that. How about I never have enough time to meditate? This sweet little lady from Vancouver, BC, grandmother, probably in her 80s. Doctor told her she had arthritis and that she was going to lose function in her hands because her joints were swollen, and she was upset because she couldn't tighten the ball jars for canning in her marmalade, or jam jars. One meditation in a progressive workshop, she changes her state of being, and all the pain in her hand goes away, and she's opening and closing her jam jars. Think she's a happy person? Just change the belief. She didn't know. You ask her how it happened, she'll say, I don't know how it happened. I just changed the belief. I don't know how it happened, like the science behind it. I just know that I just changed that belief. I was so happy to hear that about her. I mean, that's a cool grandma, wouldn't you agree? Imagine what she would say to her grandkids. Change your belief about that. Get on the toilet. All right, now, let me tell you how this meditation is going to go. We're going to play 2 songs to pull the mind out of the body. You with me? You did good. We got a little bit more practice to do, all right? First song, I work with you. You work with me. I'll coach you through it. Come on, stay with me. Second one, you're on your own. You find your own rhythm. You find your own cadence. You with me? Stay with me. Come on. Then, we're going to rest our attention in different parts of the body and the space around the body. Remember why? Coherence, yes? Just keep opening your focus, and more nerve cells are going to begin to join the orchestra. You with me still? Then, you're going to unfold as nobody, no one, no thing, nowhere, and no time. You got it? Now, then, when you're at that point where you're in that perfect state, I'm going to say to you, what was that belief or perception about yourself in your life that you wanted to change? And all I want you to do is remember the belief. Are you with me? Yes. And then I'm going to say to you, do you want to continue to believe and perceive in this way? If not, it's time to make a decision with such firm intention that the amplitude of that decision causes your body to respond to your mind. That the choice that you make in this moment becomes the experience that you never forget. Let this moment define you. And you better be like Gandalf on the bridge. You may not pass again. You with me still? So you got to come out of your resting state, yes? Then I'm going to say to you, what do you want to believe and perceive about yourself and your life, and how will it feel? Are you with me still? And now I'm going to say to you, come on, move into a new state of being. And then I'm going to say to you, I want you to make a choice with such firm decision that the amplitude of this choice is greater than the hardwired programs in your brain and the emotional conditioning in your body. Come on, let your body respond to your mind. Are you with me still? And the hair on the back of your neck better stand up, and you better become more energy than matter. And then I'm going to say to you, come on, from this state of being, to create an unlimited belief is to feel unlimited. To empower a new belief is to become empowered. And I want you to raise your energy. Are you with me still? Just take a chance. And when you start feeling changes inside of you, you're going to pay more attention to the thought that caused it. And you're going to begin to emboss that information in your brain. Are you with me still? And all I'm going to do is say, come on, radiate that belief around you. And I just want you to become aware of that energy around you while you're holding that belief in your mind. That's all I want you to do. And all you're saying to the observer is, take a look at that. This is what I'm putting in the mirror. You with me still? Yes. And then you're going to linger there for a period of time, and then I'm going to say, now embody this belief. How will you breathe in this belief? How will you stand in this belief? How will you walk? What will be your posture in this belief? Come on, feel it in your body. And I want you to wear it. I want you to feel it. Bring it in there, because it's got to make it into the body. Are you with me still? So I'm going to ask you to embody that belief. You got it? And then I'm going to say to you, now surrender your belief to a greater mind, planting a seed in the infinite field of possibilities. And then I'm going to say to you, whatever you experience in the realm beyond space and time and emotionally embrace must manifest in space and time. It's the law. And then you'll bless your body and your life, your past and your future. You'll bless your soul and then ask the divine to step into your life. Are you with me still? We'll finish in a state of gratitude and then we'll break.